Hello, my name is Sara Alvarado. I am a third-year ND student and a first-year midwifery student, and today I'm going to teach you some techniques using the Rebozo, which is a Mexican shawl or a Latin American shawl. It's mostly used in Latin America as a garment, but as a midwife it's really handy because you can use it in a lot of different ways to help a laboring woman, and you can even use it post birth of the child or after the baby is born to hold him comfortably and securely and have your arms free. So the techniques I'm going to show you today are a technique traditionally used to turn a posterior baby, and what that means is that the baby is flipped, not head over feet, but flipped kind of on its belly instead of on its back, so that its face is going to come out in a direction that makes it more difficult. It's going to come out face up, making it more difficult for the mom to deliver, and it also puts too much pressure on the baby's face. So it's a good technique to help flip the baby over so that he comes out face down. The other technique is how to flip a breech baby, or a baby that is going to be born feet first or elbow first, but it's most useful for what is called a footling breech, which is when the feet are going to come out first. The other technique is how to help a mom during the second stage labor in a deep knee squat, a deep squat position for pushing. And the other technique I will show you is a hip squeeze to open up the pelvis, which is where the baby needs to fall into in order to be delivered safely. I'm also going to show you how to tie a slip knot with the Rebozo, or a knot that will move easily for adjusting in order to carry a baby comfortably and safely. So I have two lovely assistants who are going to help me today, my roommates Cindy and Mallory, and the first thing I'm going to show you is the hip squeeze. And this is the Rebozo, first off, and it's pretty wide. Most of the techniques that we'll learn are going to need it to be folded lengthwise, or hot dog instead of hamburger. So if Mallory will take one end and I take the other, we have the mom standing here. We kind of wrap around her, around the hip bones that stick out here. You place the Rebozo at that level, and then we'll cross behind her, and we'll kind of do a rhythmic shake, and this puts pressure on the hips to kind of open them up and give the baby more room to fall into the hips for a smoother, easier transition and movement into the pelvis. And you can go really tight on this because most moms like the pressure. And that's the hip squeeze. The next one, if you keep the Rebozo folded lengthwise, is the technique to turn a posterior baby. And you have the mom lie on the Rebozo with her bum in the center, and you and your assistant will grab either side and go into a rhythmic shake, nice and easy. And this is just to kind of relax the area and relax the mom. And then suddenly, whoever's going to be the person doing the turning will jerk, and that creates the right movement so that the baby kind of will spin around the way that it needs to in order to come out face down if it's face up at the time. The other technique is for turning a breech baby. So you'll have the mom crawl on her hands and knees for 25 to 30 minutes. After that, you're going to have her with her bum in the air on her elbows, and I'm going to turn the camera so that you can see more clearly what Cindy is doing. She's more on her elbows than on all fours, so her bottom is a little bit more elevated. And what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the Rebozo around where the bones that she sits on are, and you're going to grab both ends, and you're just going to shake back and forth, nice and easy. And some midwives and doulas say that you should jerk one side more suddenly, the way that you do when you're turning a posterior baby. But for this, I've heard mostly that it's sufficient to just do the rocking back and forth nice and easy. And that'll help the baby flip around if its feet are coming out first, so that its head will turn and come down into the pelvis. The last thing I will show you is the rebozo used in second stage labor. And you want to have the mom in a nice deep squat, supported from behind, and I'm going to turn the camera so that we can see that. Supported from behind so that she's nice and secure, and you're going to kind of give her the two ends of the rebozo, and you're going to take the looped end and secure yourself around it. And I like to sit all the way down because I'm smaller, and this gives her some leverage and some security to push while she's squatting during the second stage of labor. And that's it for the techniques that I'm going to show you as far as using it with the mom in labor. The last thing I'll show you is how to tie a knot in order to use your rebozo as a baby carrier. So you're going to keep it folded lengthwise in the hot dog orientation, and you're going to put the side that has the two flaps where you folded it together. You can put your hand in here like that against your neck, like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring the part that you've put against, the part that you put against your back, you're going to bring that around the front. There we go. That's better lighting. Bring it around the front. You're going to loop up and in so that it looks like that. Then you're going to bring this end and tuck it into itself. And once you do that, you have a nice knot that is secure that you can use as kind of an adjustable part of the sling you just created to hold your baby. So you take that and you flip it and you put that on your back. And I don't have a baby available, but I have a toy cat. And you put the baby's bottom in the bottom part of the rebozo closest to your hip area, and its head will be closest to your shoulder or your breast. And that way it's a really secure, wide base to carry your baby, and you can tighten it or adjust it from the back as needed. And that's all. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, email me at my school address, which is sara.alvarado@bastyr.edu.